All right, Algebra Honors. Unit 7 is our unit on polynomials, and we are day 6. We're going to warm up by factoring some trinomials where we know a, the leading coefficient, equals 1. So remember, we can use this x puzzle to help us find a times c, where we're multiplying what is a times c, what two numbers multiply to give us that upper part of the cross here, but they have to add together to give us that lower part, b, which is the coefficient of your middle term. So x squared plus 9x plus 20, my a is 1, my c is 20. So a times c is 20, and I want two numbers that multiply to give me 20 but add to give me 9. So I already know it's 4 and 5, right? Because 4 times 5 is 20 and 4 plus 5 is 9. So because my leading coefficient is 1, I can drop those two guys, 4 and 5, straight into my binomials, x plus 4 and x plus 5. Remember, this is not the only way to solve this kind of a problem. It's just a method that we've used with this cross. Okay, I'm going to double check and make sure I did this right. I'm going to check it, and I'm going to say x times x is x squared, outer is 5x, inner is 4x, so that's 9x, and last is 20. X squared plus 9x plus 20, that worked out. Okay, so my two factors are x plus 4 and x plus 5. Here I have y squared minus 5y minus 6. If I wanted to do a little bit of guess and check, I know that I'm going to have y and y as my first terms because y times y is y squared. And I need to get to negative 6. So it's going to be 2 times 3 or 5 times 1, right? I need negative 5 as my sum. So if I have negative 6 times 1, negative 6 times 1, negative 6 times positive 1. I know that when I multiply those last terms, I'm going to get negative 6, and when I add, my outer is 1y, and my inner is negative 6y, so I know that that middle term is going to be negative 5y. So I'm able to figure that out sometimes with guess and check, but if you can't, or if you prefer, you would use a times c. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. When you add together, you're supposed to get negative 5. And so you know, in order to multiply to get negative, one of these guys has to be negative and one has to be positive. That's the only way to get a product that's negative. And so I can either have 2 times 3 or I can have 6 times 1. Negative 2 and 3 would give me a 1 as my b value. Negative 3 and 2 would give me negative 1, so that doesn't work. Negative 6 and 1 is going to give me negative 5. Negative 6 and positive 1. So there's still a little bit of guess and check. It's just a matter of where you want to do your guess and check, right? So I can check my work. Y squared plus 1y minus 6y is minus 5y minus 6. Okay, here I have a squared plus 7a minus 5. And again, I know that negative 5 can come from 5 times 1, so where either the 5 is negative or the 1 is negative. I think this one might be prime. Let's just work it a little bit. Okay, if I use my puzzle, I need two numbers that multiply to give me 1 times negative 5, but they have to add to give me 7. I'm thinking there's no way to do this, right? I think we can't do this. Can't do. And if we can't do it, it's going to be prime. All right. Okay, so let's look at this next option here. So x squared plus 7x minus 44. A times 3 is, excuse me, just kidding. A times c is going to be negative 44, and b is 7. So I got to think about things that multiply together to give me 44, or negative 44 in this case, that add together to give me 7. So this also seems like it might not work, but let's mess around with it and see. So I'm thinking about 44, and I know to get to 44, I want my difference of my factors to be 7. So I'm gonna, like, I know if I do 2 times 22, one of them is negative, one of them is positive. The difference is 20. That's not going to work. So I'm going to go to 4. 4 times 11, one's going to be negative and one's going to be positive. Well, that works. Negative 4 times 11 is negative 44. Negative 4 plus 11 is 7. So that's it. I'm going to put those guys right in there in my X puzzle. I know those are my factors, right? So I'm going to have x minus 4 times x plus 11. There it is. I thought maybe it was prime, but no, it's fine. Okay, and so I'm just going to double check. That's x squared plus 11x minus 4x minus 44, and x squared plus 7x minus 44. So hooray, check, that worked. So x minus 4 times x plus 11, that's my answer. All right. 3m. Well, the first thing I notice is that my leading coefficient is not a 1. So I have to look for a greatest common factor. So I can pull 3 from each of those. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say that this is 3 times m squared minus 7m plus 12. Now don't forget that 3, okay? That is really important. It's still part of the problem. But now I need two numbers that multiply to give me 1 times 12, so 12, that add to give me negative 7. Negative 4 times negative 3 gives me positive 12, and when I add them together I get negative 7. So I know that my factors, I have to have 3. I don't want to forget my 3. And then I have x minus 4 times x minus 3. Don't forget that 3, okay? It's still there even though we pulled it out earlier. To check my work, I would say 3 times, this is first is x squared, minus 3x minus 4x is minus 7x, and then plus 12. And then distribute that, I'm going to get 3x squared minus 21x plus 36. And I want to double check, is that what I started? Oh my gracious, people. Let's use an m like we're supposed to. Forgive me. Creature of habit. My variable is m. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. My variable is m. Okay, so I have multiplied it all out. I did my FOIL, and then I multiplied 3m squared minus 21m plus 36. That checked out once I put the correct variable in. All right, 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. I am going to pull a 2 out, so that's going to give me 2 times x squared plus 2x minus 3. And I need to get 1 times negative 3 is going to have to, whatever factors I have to add up to be 2. So to get a negative number, I have to have a negative and a positive, right, when I multiply. And so my options are 3 times 1, so I can either have negative 3 times positive 1 or positive 3 times negative 1. I need positive 3, I need the bigger one to be positive because 3 minus 1 is 2. So when I plug this back in, I'm not forgetting my 2. That's super important. So I have 2 times x minus 1 times x plus 3. Don't forget, if you write 2 times x plus 3 times x minus 1, that's totally fine. Commutative property. Okay, and if I double check, I'm going to have 2 times x squared plus 2x minus 3, which is going to give me 2x squared plus 4x minus 6, and I want to check up here, 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. Check, it worked out. All right, so stay tuned, and you can come back for the lessons for today. Thanks for watching.